What if you can create your energetic signature? And not only you have an energetic field that is your signature, it becomes this personal field of magnetisms that draws in everything that is a perfect fit for your experience and your desire, how you want it. So it's not just about getting the thing, but it's about making it a blissful experience, like an ever unfolding journey for you while doing it. So if you're watching this video, you're probably a high functioning master manifester. You're a go-getter who's done the work, manifested some beautiful thing, and yet inside there's some your system, it's still holding for dear life. And you feel this call to a new chapter, a chapter like that you are not keep getting dragged back into that spirals of anxieties or pressure and burn out. So this is not because you're doing anything wrong. This is because you haven't learned to unlock the key to your nervous system yet, so that your nervous system hasn't yet been recalibrated to feel safe to receive with peace, pleasure, and presence. So that everything that is waiting, to pull in from just the edge of your field cannot really pull into your experience because of these blockages. And that exactly what I'm here to help you unlock. And I'll tell you exactly how we're going to do that. So if any point during this video you feel activated and ready and you're just like, oh, say less, I get it, then the link to apply for my high-level program, Nervous System Command, is below, and we'll go deeper together. So first, I want to explain to you the mechanism that keep most of the manifester from scaling, which I say infinite expansion, and so that you understand what is, what you shouldn't be doing if you want to kind of like really melt yourself into the next chapter. Okay, so the outside external symptoms look something like this. You're doing all the right thing, journaling, therapy, mindset work, even energetic practices. Okay, I've worked with a self-made millionaire, Harper Bazaar featured, extremely, powerful healer. And she is the teacher, she teaches energetic practices. She's really good at that. And then at some point, she hit the ceiling where, she is someone who is big on like programs, as in like she doesn't mind. She knows that she can use the help and she doesn't mind using it, which means that she's been signing up for many different things and trying to do many different things at once to make sure that she stay on top of her practices. But she hit a ceiling and her nervous system is fried. Okay, it's completely fried. And this is why I'm bringing this story in, is because I'm telling you what the external symptoms could feels like when you hit this kind of like this part when it's not optimized for scaling and expansion, infinite expansion. Okay, so obviously this is where you start to overthink in rooms where you should feel powerful, in empires that you yourself built. Okay, you are attracting more chaos and dysregulation in love and in the career, and you feel like shutting down when it's time to lead or receive. Also, feeling peaceful is foreign and suspicious. You might struggle to sleep and struggle to keep, your schedule in a way that is balanced. So that's the external manifestation. Now, internally, what is happening is that you Most people, when they experience this sense of impatience and this sense of like, you could say desperation, and there is nothing wrong with this. It's the only matter is how you deal with it. Okay, so most of the time when you experience this, you would try to scan out for the one key thing that will change this feeling of impatience and desperation within. So now you in a mode where you scanning for this one drug or whatever it is, like this one, you're like, give me that one solution to solve my pain point, like, and energetically, like from that place, you are coming from a place of highly dependency and this kind of like belief that someone out there is going to get me there. And so the thing is that energetically, it means that you are doing something to get something. So I'm taking for an example, you watch a video and this has to be it. You read a book and this has to be it. You talk to a person and this has to be the person. And it's really kind of like put a chain on your entire experience, which is definitely not something infinite, right? And so, because the energetic mechanism behind it is that you trying to look for something to fill and solve the scarcity within, you are setting yourself on this loop of doing something to get something instead of occupying a space just for the sake of occupying the space, which is unconditional. So now this conditional loop of like, oh, you are going to give me the exact thing that's going to solve my problem. And then it's gonna, it's get you on that momentum. And now this is a trap. I promise you that. Because once you get on this loop, now you do this. Now everything you do is it has to, solve that one thing. It has to be the one, the one. And the fact that you are holding on to like one dear solution like that, this sense of attachment is a proof that you don't believe that you are it. You don't believe that you are that girl, that person who has got it. Because if you can get, like a dress, if you can get a good dress anywhere, you wouldn't be like, looking for it would be, you still would like to look for the beautiful one, but you wouldn't be like desperate about it because you look good and you have a taste and your style. Okay, so so that's what I'm explaining to you about the loop that you're trapped in, and about the fact that this is something that you can call manifesting from trauma tension, not inner stillness. And I'm gonna tell you that, okay, you can still manifest from this space. You can, but this is not what you want, because it's just something that you think that you want. You think that by getting that one specific thing, it's gonna brings you the feeling of liberation, of passion, and feeling alive. But it's not true, because if you're starting from the intention of, from the space of, tension, traumatic tension, then it doesn't really change even if you manifested all of these things. And I've seen people who manifested all the things that they think that they want, still feeling completely unsatisfied. So, what you want, is that you want to be able to entertain and experience and call into your reality all of these beautiful experiences and feel completely magical about it. Okay? Because that's what you want. You want to feel alive. You want to wake up to life and be like, oh, there's this, and then there's that, and then there's more, and then wow, everywhere, everyone, so cool, so great. And that's how you want to get there. But in that state, in that fairy tale, beautiful, unfolding journey, there is no such thing as like, oh, I can only have that. Oh, this has to be the thing. You know what I mean? Because you are the one that you're manifesting. What you manifesting is the version of yourself that those results become a natural byproduct of the expression that is you. And that is the true reward. Okay? So that brings us to the trial method that is deeply embedded in my nervous system command programmed. And I has done all kind of research, completely obsessed about all thing inner work, identity work, and energetic shifting. Okay? Because I've always been interested in, the level of clarity that allowed you to shift timeline. And when you say shifting reality and shifting timeline, it can sound abstract, but I tell you that it's actually can be really damn practical and simple and easy to think of. If you think of it like this. So let's say you in a toxic relationship, or you are standing in front of a very lucrative opportunities. Now, it's just a matter of saying yes or no. It's just a matter of like, oh, no, I don't want this. Oh, yes, please. See, that's alone how you shift timeline, because a different answer will brings into you a very different reality. You say yes to the wrong thing and no to the right thing. You see, so reality shifting, think about it very simply, is your ability to say yes and no to a level of clarity that brings into you this experience of complete fairy tale or a complete nightmare. So now, this ability to say yes or no to things has not just to do with your clarity and consistency consciously, right? Like a level of integrity where I see something I don't like, I say no or yes, right? But it also has to do more with your nervous system, because many times we know so well in our heart that we want to say yes to this and we want to say no to that. But you couldn't bring yourself to do that. How so? Obviously, people refer to this as subconscious mind, but I want you to know something that even more powerful. I want you to refer to it as your nervous system, because, all right, the thing is, nervous system for me is something that just in the middle of your subconscious and conscious is where things meet. And your ability to be in absolute control of your nervous system is something that can allow you to command reality at will. Because when the reason why I don't want to say subconscious is because it's too broad. It's almost like you're talking about, like everything you ever exposed to, okay, can be a part of your subconscious. But now, nervous system, it has to do with your way of regulating what feels safe to you. You see what I mean? What you register as truth. So something can be in your nervous subconscious or not, and it affects your reality or not. But for your nervous system, like you know it, if something is good or not, for the intended response that you would like on a certain subject. So it's something that I'm saying that you can choose. Yeah. So, in order to do that, inside of my program, okay, this is something that will change everything for you, I promise. Inside my program, I help you regulate your nervous system on command and embody your most magnetic self using 3 layers of transformation. And these things weave together in the way and proportion that is most natural to you. Okay? So the first thing that I'm talking about, so the first pillar, the first area, I've talked about this and teach this concept in many very different angles for many years. And I've worked privately one-on-one with many people to kind of like draft down, I mean, like this sort of like perfect pillars. But I'm going to explain to you what it is. So the first thing is that you talk about fairy tale frequency. Okay, so we want to, that's where we want to be in. We want to be in this, vibrational attunement, and we want to operate from this space. This is where we want to operate from. A fairy tale frequency. You enter the field of someone who received with joy. And this is where you will have to forget everything about reality as you know it, because it would be a very different set of rules that you're gonna play by and remembers. So fairy tale frequency is this visceral, like beautiful, magnetic, completely delicious and loving, like bust with love vibration that is just so strong and so commanding that it will, put you on track of this completely different reality. Well, the name says all. You are basically attuning yourself to the fairy tale version of your timeline. So that's where we're setting the train. And the fairy tale frequency alone, it's very powerful, because now you operating from victory, power, beauty, wealth, love, and that's gonna be your normality. That's gonna be the language that you speak. And imagine if you don't comprehend and interpret anything other than that. So some people, the thing is that with frequency, with this fairy tale frequency, some of the question that I get is that, how do you get in that frequency? How do you get there? And so totally get it, but you see, the thing is that, again, that question brings us to the traps that I talked to you about. But I understand the level of difficulty to, basically transit yourself and melts yourself into this vibrational space. So that brings us to rapid rapid rewiring. Okay, so I've been a professional coach, like certified hypnotherapist for a very long time, and there are coaching techniques and there are way that you can pinpoint your exact blockage and resolve them to increase your energetic baseline. So there are many ways that I can personally design your energetic signature with these techniques alone. But the limitation of techniques is that there can be static, you know, there can be, well, static, there can be limited, but used in the right way, it's gonna be like a surgery knife. And so there is that rapid rewiring transformation. So these are techniques that can be used to rewire your specific limiting belief and resolve your specific emotional blockages at the root. So the thing is that we are not going to be just flaw finder. We are not just out here doing therapy for therapy's sake, as in like we are not gonna just go out and look for your woundings. That's not what we're gonna do. But this is rapid rewiring, which is meant to bring you into fairy tale frequency. So the rewiring and designing and hairstyling, whatever energetic styling that I'm gonna do, it's going to bring you into this fairy tale frequency with belief that is now working in your favor without you having to do a thing to get a thing, which is conditional. We're gonna bring you into a space where you feel safe to receive whether you do it or not, which is unconditional. So now, wrapped it up with the pillar of identity work. This is where you embody, this fairy tale frequency, but in your waking, walking life, out into the expression of exactly who you want to be and what you want to create. Call into your fairy tale. Call into, okay? So with this identity work, it's gonna be with clarity, because for a master manifester, clarity is as important as sculpting a Michelangelo level of statue. Because if you want your reality to be reflective of your standards, then you have to perfect your art of standards. Okay, so this is where you are not going to just learn confidence. You're gonna become the person who has nothing to prove. You're gonna walk like it, act like it, and it's not just about building habits. This is about building an identity, and it's different because there are many people. Again, I tell you, this is not about doing more or doing harder. This is about doing it from the right energetic space, which in this case, you're doing it from the right identity. Okay, so basically, we're gonna shift you into the version who no longer feel the need to hustle to be chosen, and you just sort of like remember your power and operate from that space. Again, one example I can give you is the example that I told you before about saying yes to the right thing and saying no to the wrong thing. So if you think about now, if you think about the kind of things that you don't feel like you can say no to. You feel, oh my God, that was so terrifying. What do you think people are gonna think about me if I say no to that? Or, oh, who do you think I am? Who do you think I am to write that book? Who do you think I am to run that hotel? Who do you think I am to go there, to have that relationship, have that marriage, whatever that is? Now you're gonna say yes to all of that. And you're gonna say it with it's like a full-on alignment from your state of being to your emotion, to your belief, and to your inspired action and words and how you showed up. So yes to the right thing and no to the wrong thing. And that's how you know that you've done the identity work. So basically, I want to give you a run out on how I help people going from, uncomfortable, isolated, or overworked, overgiving into this version of themselves who's grounded in complete magnetism and just like the nature of who they are. Then that's how we're gonna do it. So let's see here where we are. Yeah. So as you come into this point that I call the point of no return, right? Because we're waking up in a completely new reality now. Then you gonna know that this is about nervous system safety, identity clarity, and magnetic presence. So when all of these locked in, everything in your life calibrates to meet you, and you already feel it, because eventually that's what you're after. A very deep and authentic connection with who you are at your soul, at your core. So if this resonates and you're ready to lead from your most powerful, peaceful identity, click the link below and join in the nervous system command, because magnetisms has nothing to do with look or any kind of numbers. It has to do with how you command your nervous system. Because if you completely in absolute control of yourself, or as I say, have absolute vibrational control, you have control over everything as the god of your reality. So that's it. I'll show you how. Apply it now. Let's shift your nervous system and your life from the inside out. So, see ya.